pollution, what image comes to your mind? Is it raw sewage spilling into waterways? Is it thick black smoke spewing out of a coal factory? Or is it a smoggy urban landscape? Do you ever think it might be the clothes you're wearing, Lloyd? Those jeans? The shirt you're wearing, Christina? The jacket you have on, Luke? Because the clothing industry is the second largest polluter in the world, second only to oil. And this statement was made by Arlene Fisher, who is a clothing industry magnate. Why do you think she made that kind of a statement? I mean, what is it about the clothing industry? What are they doing? Well, they're actually polluting our waterways with poisonous finishing chemicals. The way they make your garment wrinkle-free, stain-resistant, waterproof. They're sending this microplastic pollution into our rivers and our lakes and our oceans. And some of you might be familiar with that. But have you ever thought that when you wash this jacket, which is a common micro-fleece kind of jacket, 1.7 grams of fibre goes into our wastewater treatment. That's about how much that is. And the University of California in Santa Barbara has tested waters like Lake Michigan. It is the second most common debris found there. Well, what does that mean for our Columbia River? Or our beautiful Lake Chelan, our Lake Wenatchee? And not only that, they're using massive amounts of water to get these pair of jeans looking nice and warm. They're not only using dyes and detergents, but they're actually, from the time the cotton is grown to the end, say, life cycle of the jeans, so when I throw them out, they've used over 1,000 gallons of water just in one pair of jeans. So what can we do about that? Well, I suggest 3 things. We can buy less, buy well, and make it last. First of all, buy less. In the US alone, we are buying 22 billion new clothing items every year. And the EPA says that 13.1 million textiles are trashed every year, and only 15% of those are recycled or donated. Buy less. Buy well. There are companies that are actually doing things to alleviate some of the pollution that they leave behind. Levi's is a great example. Levi's actually works with a company in Seattle, a startup company called Avenue. They repurpose old used t-shirts into fabric for their jeans. They also work with another company in Italy, Aquafel, where they take all those abandoned fishing nets, which is a huge problem, and make them regenerate that nylon into fabric denim. And of course, they're also using incredible waterless dyeing techniques, so using far less water. But not only that, so we can choose companies that we know that are using sustainable kind of ways to alleviate the pollution, eliminate pollution, but we can also look at our labels too. And we can use things like certified organic cotton. Even though it's still a very thirsty crop, it actually doesn't use, obviously, the pesticides and insecticides that regular cotton does. And then we can look for alternative fibres like flax and hemp and linen and bamboo. So buy well. And then make it last. We don't have to wash our clothes as much as we do. We can actually, we waste a lot of natural resources, and it's bad for our clothes. In fact, sturdy items like jeans can actually be aired out. In fact, I recently heard Victoria Beckham, I don't know if you know Victoria Beckham, but she was married to very famous soccer player David Beckham. She was a former Spice Girl. She's now a fashion designer. She has incredible social influence. And she said she doesn't wash her jeans. And that was quite a statement for somebody to make. She said she'll only ever wash them if she spills something on them. And I go, good for you. You're making it last. You're having even a small impact. And she's a fashion designer. So she has to look good most of the time. So buy less, buy well, and make it last. And you know, I talk about the ecological impact of the environmental impact of the clothing industry, but I haven't even begun to mention the human impact. There are 40 million garment workers in the world, and they don't enjoy the same rights and protections that we do. They are being exploited and poisoned. And 85% of them are women. So I'm asking you today, besides buy less, buy well, and make it last, care what you wear and be a conscious consumer. Thank you.